2, 1, 1, 2. There we go. We should be live now, I think. Get some of this stuff turned off here because it's loud. The printer needs work. I don't need this on right now. Not too hot. Hey, Gunner, you're number 1 again. Look at you. Eduardo, what's up? Sorry, I'm running a little bit behind tonight. YouTube notifications on point, Lily. Oh, that's good. I always wonder sometimes if people get the notifications or if they see the tweet. But I just dropped all of my shrink tubing, so I need to pick that up real quick down here. Because I was trying to rush to go live, and I do not feel like picking through all of this. Sucks. Just pull up a loss on some of these pieces because I'm not diving through my trash to pick them out. There's a ton all over the floor now. Give me 1 minute here, guys, to get my shrink tubing back together. We'll get started. I don't need it tonight, but kind of don't want it everywhere. I still need to resort all of my screws that the cat dropped over in Monday's stream. The brat. So one of these evenings, the wife said she was going to help me out with that, which would be nice because it's going to take forever to do. It's good. There's just a couple stragglers left over, but I got my little bin here, and of course I left it someplace where I shouldn't have because I'm an idiot. Jeff, what's up? All right, let's check some things here real quick. Excuse me. So yeah, tonight is part 4, and we're going to build the Z-axis of the BLV Cube. The Z-axis, and we're going to go ahead and do the Z-carriage and the bed. We'll get all that assembled tonight. So what I've been working on this whole past week is redesigning, and not really redesigning a lot of the parts, but a few things here and there. So up here on my screen, I have the, where are we at here? Right here. So I made a mount for the LCD that I got because I'm using a different one. I'm not using a Duet like the kit is built for. And I don't want to use the cheap full graphic display that this kit came with. So I went ahead and made up my own here, and this fits. This is the TFT 35 V3 from Big Tree Tech. So it matches with the Big Tree Tech SKR 1.3 that I'm putting in this. And yeah, so it fits. It's not as snug as I was hoping, but the whole goal here is to glue this back lip in, and this part just slips right out, slips right into it, which is so awesome. I was going to make it articulating, but I was talking to Aaron. He's like, is it really worth doing? Not really. So I'm not going to do articulating, but I was going to make this like move. But you know what? I think it's okay just like this. I have access to the SD card. I have access to the USB drive, so I can print from either one of those with this touch panel. So yeah, I'm super happy about that. And I printed this piece out to make sure it fits. Not a perfect print. I'll need to figure out a better way to print this. I think I might end up chamfering this instead of using the fillet that he did on here because the print quality is not that great on such a big fillet. But I don't know. We'll figure that one out later, but that's for the front panel. And I also went ahead and mocked up my wiring here. So let's switch cameras here to here. I'll do this here. Zoom in a smidgen. Like that. There we go. So as you can see up here, I have my cabling I pull this to the side, you can see back here. So this is actually his part for the cable chain. What I did is I modified that and I printed a, right here is the top piece of that modification. It's really hard to see. I can't really move the printer because it's so enormous right now. But I basically remixed that part so that it could attach to the back of a pancake stepper. So I went ahead and swapped this out from last week and put a he's still around, Gunner. Lost my train of thought there. So I went ahead and made a back plate. So this mounts through a pancake stepper and just grips into the front of the whatever you call it, the teeth, I can't even think of the name of it. The front of the motor head here, where the threads are. It just grips into those threads. The front of the BMG grips into the front of it, and it sandwiches that together very, very nicely. I did think about putting a long bolt all the way through, but it would need to be like 65 millimeters, and I don't have any bolts that long, so I went with this route. But this is secure to the back of the motor, and I just temporarily zip tied all my cabling up here. It will eventually get this textile sleeving that came with the kit, which is really nice. The same thing that Prusa uses. I like it a lot. It doesn't make any noise if it ends up running against anything, and it keeps your cables nice and protected. That will eventually go over all of this once I confirm that everything works and is good. I also went ahead and in the back, you can see there's some mountings going on there. So I went ahead and took the protective covering off this piece of acrylic and printed drilled out for the power supply and for the board. This is nowhere near the final ways, and this is actually going to be a scrap piece of acrylic. This is going to get thrown away eventually, but I wanted to get everything mounted on here so I can test all the components. I don't think I'll do that in tonight's stream. I really thought about it, but we'll kind of see how long the Z-axis takes to assemble. If I do it quickly, then maybe we'll get a test, make sure the fans work, make sure the extruder heats up, make sure the bed heats up, because I did also modify the bed, talk about that in a second. But again, I just want to get everything mounted here so that I would be able to test all of this out. I don't have any, I don't know if I can. I don't have any firmware for it yet, so firmware might be something I work on the next week or two to kind of get that rolling and kind of go from there. But at least I have that mounted. I have this mounted. I ended up going with I didn't like the 24 volt fan that came with the kit, so I put a maglev 12 volt on there. And back here, I have a little 12 volt step down, or just a step down, which I stepped down from 24 to 12 volts for that. That'll just get kind of hot glued on there for now to do the testing. But everything else is pretty much wired. I didn't wire up the octocoupler yet for the touch sensor. But yeah, it was definitely a very productive week kind of working on the different parts of this, and I'm happy with how it came out so far. So now I'm going to clean up here a little bit, and we will get the Z-axis installed. I think I might tip this thing on its side if I can make enough room on my desk here and go from there. Oh, also, my thing's in the way. Down here, I found a really, really good power socket for the corner here, so it takes out the corner bracket. And this thing is solid. It's 4 T-nuts, 2 in the bottom, 2 in the side that hold this thing in here. It is rock solid. It's protected. It has a nice cover on the back of it here, and I have that connected here to the 24 volt power supply with very, very long leads right now. They are probably a foot long or 16 inches long maybe. And that again is because I don't know the final resting place of this power supply is going to be once I get the larger panels put in. I did buy panels. I didn't go with acrylic. I went with something else from Tap Plastics. It was way cheaper. Like, it was $10 for 1 sheet and $12 for 2 sheets. So like the cost almost halved by buying more than one. So I bought 2 of every side that I need in case I screw it up. And it's cut 2 sides. So I measured this all out compared to the drawings, got my measurements, and I have everything cut to size. I'll just need to make all the little cuts out of it to make it fit the way I need it to fit the printer. So let me clean up a little bit here to give us some space and can kind of then continue. I do also need to, because the board is back here and the screen is going to be right here, I need wicked long cables. So these little ones that came with the kit will not work whatsoever. These are, these 30-centimeter ones. They're very, very short. Those won't work, and nor will the TFT cable. This one, I'm just going to go ahead, and I just had it in my hand. What do I do with it? I have ribbon cable right here. So I'll use this ribbon cable to extend this one, but this ribbon cable is not wide enough to be able to do these. I think I only have 8 cores here now, and this is 10-pin ribbon cable, so I sadly cannot remake these cables, but I can at least extend this one and be able to have this part connected, and I'll just have to wait for these to come in. I have some for Megatron that I might end up stealing. Instead of switching out his screen tomorrow night, I might just leave it with the shorter cables and use the longer cables for this one, just because I want this to get built sooner than that, and I guess something like that. So we'll end up seeing how all that pans out, and we'll go from there. So let me just move some of my stuff here so I don't knock anything else over, because I might die. I did also install the board is on some standoffs. I have a whole drawer. I've saved all my standoffs. I tell people to save all your stuff. Definitely do it. But I saved my standoffs from many, many different computers and different builds and whatnot. And I'm using those as standoffs for the board, just to give a little separation from the acrylic. It will allow airflow better in there as well. Lots of benefits to having increased airflow around your board, because it's heat generating and it's running all of your printer. And if it has a heating problem, you will definitely start to notice that in your electronics. I need to just move a couple of these things out of the way. I don't want to knock anything over here. That would just be a bad day. My trash. Oh, I moved the trash can over there, so I didn't knock anything else inside of it. Put those away. No, I put them in here. I should have pre-drilled everything. I didn't do a dry assembly of any of it, but I did try and make sure that I had everything ready to go. I don't need zip ties right now. Oh, the bed. So this bed is actually really, really bad. It comes with the kit. So originally the connector was going this way, and if you look here, the connector's on top. So if you put your sheet over it, your sheet is right on the connectors. So I took the advice, maybe bad advice, from somebody on the Facebook group that said they did it and it worked, and desoldered this, drilled straight through this sucker, and I bottom mounted the connector. So you can see it right there. And I'd also ordered this piece of insulation here to help insulate the bed better. I don't think this is the bed I'm going to end up leaving on this printer. I'm probably going to buy a somewhat legitimate 5 or 6 mil thick piece of aluminum bed to make for it. And I'm going to put a heater on the bottom. But for now, this is what I have. So this is obviously not terribly flush, but it's mostly flush. And I'll make sure that the probe point is away from it. And I went ahead and covered that with Captain tape. So at least I can do this. You also can just leave it right in front of it, I guess. As long as I'm probing in front of that, it's fine. But I did not like that up top, so at least it's covered now. It's somewhat safer. This bed is really, really not great, but it is what I have right now. So we'll see if it still works after doing the modification. I really hope it does, because, again, I know I need to buy something better, but I have not found a source for a 6mm bed in the US anywhere. There's someone had sent me a link to a place in, I don't know if it's Germany or Norway they have it, but yeah, they did not, it is not a US seller, so I don't know if they ship to the US either. So I'm kind of SOL on that respect for that part. Not a huge deal, but I just kind of wish that it was easier to find. I did contact Matthew White from 713 Maker to see if he will do a custom bed for me, or kind of custom bed for me. I really just want the FT5 bed with these mounting holes and not the mounting holes that the FT5 bed has in it. or if he can drill those out for M4s, because this huge bed being on 4 springs, they need to be M4s because they're honky springs and they are big bolts holding it on there. So 3D Fused sold me a thick bed. I'm going to look for that real quick. If anybody else has anything to suggest for a big bed, please tell me. I need something so I can recommend. Jeff, I need a 300 by 300. Hey, Brandon. He's been quiet lately. He's been working on the bear, I think. Yeah. Shoot, beds and sleds. Come on, drop. Beds and sleds. So they have a, well, they have a 310. But how thick is it? It needs to be, it doesn't look that thick. 0.125. What's that in millimeters? My caliper's at. Is that only 3 mil? Two five. 1/8 inch. It's 3 mil. It's thin. I really want something thicker. Bullet. Yeah, but I'd worry about separation and the heat, getting the heat from one to the next one without it being like fused together. So this is a great resource, but I'm a little worried. Yeah, I'm just worried because you have to get the heat transfer from the lower panel to the top panel, then into the flexible sheet. So that's kind of my concern. There is one on Ally, but I've heard mixed things on in the Facebook group. So let me pull this up here. So this one at AliExpress is a lot of mixed things about it. It is 6 mil aluminum, or it says it's aluminum, and it's got magnets in it, which is great. Everything fits there. But I've heard some people say it's a banana, and some people say it's good. So I'm a little worried. And then there is this other one, which is basically just the Mark III bed, but bigger. So FISEC makes this one. And I've also heard mixed things about it. Some people say it's a banana, and some people say it's good. It's probably what we call the China lottery, whether it's actually good or not, but I'm spending 50 bucks on one or 70 on the other one. It's risky, and I really don't want to buy one if it's going to be crap. So I wanted to get a milled one, and again, 713 maker. They make the one for the FT5. Let me pull it up here real quick. FT5. Come on, interwebs. So he also has one with magnets in it. So here's just the heated bed is 65, and his one with magnets in it is 100 with 85. I thought it was 160. Which people say great things about. I mean, he puts this on by hand. It's just, it's got way too many holes in it. I don't need all of those holes down there, and I just need the corners drilled out, but I need them drilled out more centered so that it fits on here. Jeff, are you using a AC heater bed on it or a low voltage? So I was looking at this. There's a, well, this is 110. I was just looking at a 24 volt heated silicone heater. I don't know where it went now. I had it open, but I lost it. But I put it in my phone. I didn't know. It's the tool I need to buy. Yeah. Gunner, do they ship internationally? DE. I mean, honestly, international shipping rate is not that bad. It's just, I need Google Translate, please. Bed will come up. Printing plates. Some stuff. Aluminum precision milled. That's not it. So heating mat. What would it be under, Gunner? Because I'm not seeing plate. Google Translate is not helping me at all here right now. These are empty. Frame? Yeah, I don't know. If you tell me what it's under, I can try and find it, but well, I'll definitely keep what you said, Jeff. I'll definitely keep that as an option because that's a fairly cheap option. It's 30 bucks. That's actually a great option, to be honest. So, oh, there's a translation flag on this website. Oh yeah, there it is. American. Didn't do much better. There's still some things here that are in a different language. The window scripted. See anything in here that's bed, Gunner? But yeah, so yeah, I hear you. This one is definitely a contender. But I did find a 24-volt silicone heater that I might go with. I don't want to go with AC because while I have 110 in my house here, I don't know what the next place is going to be. And I don't want to have to run this on a transformer or buy two different beds. I'd rather just go with 24 volt. Anyways, okay, so we're doing Z. So I'm going to slide this over and pick this up. Set it down like that. Because we're going to put our rails on the parts down here. Bit so you can see what this schmuck is trying to do. All right. So we need to get out the last two linear rails. We'll get these mounted on first. Oh, geez. And then I'll get the other parts on. We're also going to need a few 3D printed parts for this. So these utilize like stoppers. So these are for the bottom of the rail. This kind of just holds that bottom. And this captured it at the top. I probably should make that bigger screen, Shane. Probably should do that. We'll just go right to this. There we go. Now you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so this goes on the top, and this is going to go right up here. It basically marks the top of the rail, and then just hugs on the bottom. So it makes it pretty simple to be able to install it. Acrylic behind me. Ouch, ouch. Okay. Bigger size. Moderately lined up right now. Okay. Get on the rail. Again, I don't need an AC heated bed. It's just not necessary at all. Make sure we have some good motion on here. Yep, real good on there. And we need here. Need a bunch of M3s. And we need the M3 T-nuts, which should be here somewhere. I think here they are. M3 T-nuts. Hey, Chris. Let's get these on. It's the boring part. Sorry, putting all these T-nuts on. Let's see, what else did I do? So I went ahead and while I was remixing parts, I did remix both back, left, and right corners. So these parts down here, oh, these are obviously on the top, but yeah, I did remix both of those corners. So there's 5 parts in total. So they are more printable now. Not finished, but they're definitely more printable. I also modified these back grills. You can see the yellow right here to be also more printable. There's too many fillets. There's fillets on everything, fillets upon fillets. And I personally do not like putting fillets towards the bed. I like printing a completely flat surface on the bed. It's just me personally. Parts come out looking better overall, so I think that is a much better way to go. And I was able to resolve a bunch of those, add some chamfers. These I just removed a lot of geometry from them, which made them print better with a nice flat base on the bed. It all makes for much less cleanup as well on these parts for post-processing. Do this one here. Backwards. For T-nut for this side. Perfect. Now I can slide this on here like that. I see it's very wiggly. So there's 2 different tools you can use for this. So there is the guide that I have here. So actually, which I need to. Doesn't go all the way up that way, so I need to move this T-nut down 1 and just not have it in the very top, I guess. Just do 1 down. Didn't think that was going to be a problem, but it is. That's okay. Still be plenty secure with all these in it. Oh, come on. So anyways, we got this tool right here, which puts the linear rail right in the middle, but also the original sizing tool that I used has this for the 2040 and this for 2020. So I can go ahead and put this one down at the other end, right there. And now we have that centered from both ends. And I can go ahead and just capture in this side, capture in this side. And if I run this all the way down, it should go down without any real issue at all. Now I can tighten down the rest of these. That done there. And then again, just this little stopper around the other ends. I'll have to reach through the printer. And this, all this really does is keep the linear, the shuttle, I'll call it, from falling off the rail. It stops it right there. We got some good action on that one. Awesome. One done. So I'm going to do it. Let me pull up the drawing real quick here, which I will pull like that so you guys can see it. It doesn't look like it's in the center because the camera is not square to the printer, just up here. Oh yeah, where's that drawing? And inside the folder, where's that? For it? Oh yeah, here we go. That's what we need here. So that goes on there. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and attach these parts this way just because it will make my life easier, I think. Or not these pieces here. So these go on like this piece here, and these mate to each other, and then the bolts go in that way into the extrusion. So I can just get this mounted on, and this is the left side, the left, and these parts face up like that. Like so. So we just got to get a couple of these 10 mils, right? And 2x8s, these are 8s. So these will just go in and attach. Pretty easy with this so far. Pretty easy so far. A bunch more of these for this part. Okay. So now, if I'm careful, I can just flip this up. This. There we go. Oh, what was that that fell out? I think it was the bearing, wasn't it? Yeah, it was the bearing. Right side is not very tight. Left is super tight. So, see that? Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. This rail, trash away. Good motion all the way. That's great. And now I will skip one this time for that top piece. Go there. 2 back to back here. So I can just do every other one. Since I'm taking the one out of there, I don't have one in the middle anymore then to worry about. Go. Gunner says on Team Chamfer, yep. You and Aaron, man, Team Chamfer. I'm alright with fillets in certain applications, but not all of them. But this printer is just, again, it's fillets on fillets, which really reduce the printability with PETG because PETG doesn't handle those curvatures as well as PLA does. At least not my settings. I mean, somebody out there is obviously better at printing than I am. Maybe they get it to handle curves better, but I don't know. PETG with a fillet facing the bed is not, you don't get as good looking prints out of it. So this is going to go in this direction, like that. I'm going to go to the top and install that piece. Well, alignment pieces here. That. This one. Whoops, too far. This. And there's a gap on that side. Shucks. Let's fix that real quick. Shouldn't be a gap up here. That's better. Hard to get through all those cables and everything. All right, now we can make sure that's up there. Put that up as soon as I can go. And then down. We'll go back and we'll check with the bed to make sure this is all appropriately spaced. We don't get any wiggle in it. Should be easy enough to do. And now we put on the bottom stopper. This one. Carriage. is captured. And we'll get the other piece, which is right. That part. Oh, here it is. Whew. I got real worried real quick that I missed a piece. It goes on there like that. Man. I don't think it's form over function on all of it, Gunner. I think it's just bad choices. So I sent Ben, the guy who made this printer. I sent him a message the other day. He just got back to me today. Of course, you contact somebody new and it goes to like spam or message requests and all that jazz. But anyways, I'm gonna start talking to him and see, what his thoughts are for updates to this, because he hasn't updated in a long time. So I told him, I was like, unless you have like a hidden update somewhere, dude, like some things in here that really need to be, oh my god, adjusted. Oh. Folks. Oh, Ricky. Doing my zip ties. I drop everything, I swear, guys. I drop everything. It drives me nuts. Okay, the bed. So I've got the bed here. No, not that way, this way. Hey, Dustin. So we're gonna go ahead and put these, and these are, these will help a little bit with rigidity of this bed frame, but these are literally just kind of like decorative. They hold on one side. That's about it. They don't do a whole lot for the build. But let's make sure that, I don't need to put a washer on these. No, I'm good without a washer. Okay, so I think I used all the T-nuts. I had to get out of my own stock here, yeah. Because I added on a couple extra parts, I used the T-nuts that came with the kit. Which is fine, I've got more. Yeah, again, I don't argue that the kit doesn't look nice. It does look nice. But there are some, in my opinion, simple design changes that could happen that would make the printer even better. That's what I'm hoping to talk to Ben about and see if he'll do another update or if he'll do a bit of a collab to try and make it just a little bit better. He works with these vendors that make the kits. He works tirelessly with them. And I applaud him for that, to get companies to agree that, hey, enough people are going to want to build my printer. Will you make a kit for it? Like, that is a true accomplishment in its own. Just getting these other companies to say, yeah, we'll make a custom kit for your printer that people can buy. We'll even make different levels of the kits. We'll make an expensive kit and we'll make a cheap one. That was pretty fantastic on his part for being able to do that. Other printers have gotten popular just because how many people bought them, like the Hypercube. I really don't think that dude reached out to the different companies saying, hey, I want you to make a Hypercube kit for me to sell in your shop. Yeah, I did buy the RGB rings for this to try and get those working. I have a window open in order to be able to program the Arduino to work with the SKR. Now the 1.4 has a integrated NeoPixel header, but And for the 1.3, you need to use an Arduino. But I did find that somebody already had done it. And that's that. Sorry. So here's the bed. It's got the corners on it ready to go. Those all go on the outside. So that's going to eventually sit right in there. I'm going to go ahead and gently attach the two of these. Make sure it doesn't scratch anywhere. And these sides will get matched up eventually. But I'm going to put the lead screw nuts in there first. We're just going to do the bottom ones again just to get these to get on the bed first. Don't worry about these ones as soon as I finish this. So I believe he has the nut coming up from the bottom on these. Here's the nut. We're going to do those later. Yeah, because it won't fit in the top there. So this just slides in like that. And then, size screw these in for this? It doesn't say. It's a nylock nut. Oh, M3 by 22s. There it is. Which I think of these ones here. You got a new screen for the bear, Brandon? That's the 22. 22. 22. 4 of them. 5 of them. 6 of them. 7 of them. Short 1 looks like. Unless it's here on the deck somewhere. Oh, those are 18s. Oh, wait, here we go. I think it's 22. Yep, there we go. These all go through here. Like that, and it uses a nylock. Why is it using 22s? I don't know, because 22s are long. 20s would have been enough. Those stick way far out there on the bottom. That's alright though. It'll still work. And we're using nylocks. My least favorite nut for an M3. Because they are just so bloody small. For the Zinkbot. The Inkbot. The aesthetic. So everybody wants when they do nice builds is, I just want it for the look. Love my Fix-A kit. Makes life so much easier. Let's get these mostly on with it. Wish I had like a deep socket for these. That'd be nice. Well, the problem is the lip. Can't get past the lip on the lead screw nut there. Now we got to use little needle nose and tighten these down. we get binding, we may have to come back and loosen these, but for now we'll just get them just snug. Go from there. Oops. All right, there's that one. Not important. The lead screw nut go here, here. And put the bolts in. Okay, so get these held in. These ones tighten down, and then we'll be ready to attach them to the bed so we can get the bed installed. Well, the carriage for the bed installed. All metal hot on for the under 3 just cause. At the end of the day, when you do some of these builds, you just gotta make sure you're proud of it. Especially doing scratch builds like this. As long as at the end of the day you're proud of how it came out and you're proud of the prints you get off of it, that's all that really matters. Not every one of these prints I'm putting on it are perfect. It's okay. I can also reprint them at some other times, so I really don't care that much. So, all right. Getting those side bolts on are going to be fun. Got these stupid registries marks on it, and it is just really hard to get 3D printed parts on. So I'm going to take off the T-nut in order to do so. Stop. You stay flat. There. There we go. That one. This one real quick. This side. Gunner's located in the cold side of hell. All right. Here is definitely tight. We'll use this to kind of hold us there. So now we have to do M5 by 35s. Let's back away now and fix it kit. Five. Are these right here? There's only 4 of them. peanuts. Four. Now the fun part of trying to get these in place to screw in another piece of this. Oh, got it. This one. And got that one. Nice. It doesn't give the spacing, does it? It does not. That's all right. So take all this stuff, go to the other side, and get the other side connected there. I guess these are about center. Let me just see if I can figure that out real quick. Where about center is. Let's do it with that tape measure. There it is. About 22 needs to be, well, that's smack on. 22, center's 11. Man, I'm good. 22, smack on. This one. First for doing this, but me. I have a pick your adventure type of 3D printer. Okay. All right, so we've got carriage on there. And man, that feels fantastic the whole way. Whoops. Oops. It's a good thing I have it hitting this and not the stops down there. So anyways, I got the two motor mounts here. We'll get these mounted on. And then, and these are keyed, so there's literally no way to put this on wrong. And these are one of the few parts that I'm okay with it being keyed. Because again, it ensures you don't put anything on wrong. Help with the rigidity of the printer. So it keeps these in line. So nice. Man, that's nice. Okay, for the other side. Then after this, we'll get out the motors and we'll get the motors mounted. Three. Okay. So we got those in there. We got good movement on it. Yes, it's my phone, Gunner, you sick man. All right. We need some motors now. So let's get out our, move this out of the way. One, two big puppies. And we're going to put the cables to these going to the back of the printer. I think that'd be the best thing to do for that. I kind of wish there was a way to hold this up out of the way now. these short ones, right? 3x12s plus a washer. These are 12s. Washers. That's way too many. You try to get like an Advil out of the bottle when you spill half the bottle in your hand. You're just trying to get out 1, 2. Maybe you're trying to take 12. Maybe you're kind of like that and you're done with life. I don't know. Anyways. There we go. Those bottom out, even with the washer on there. So I'm going to go with the different one, because 12 with a washer is too long. We've got plenty of 10s. Don't need all of these. Those won't really reach that much. So those are 8s. Sorry, those are 8s, not 10s. 2 black 8x10s. Let me see what I got in my stock here. Yeah, because those 12s, unless I put multiple washers on them, they're too much. Oh yeah, the clamps. Where's the clamps go? There they are. Ha! Good job, Kelly. I didn't think about that. When you're in the spur of the moment, you don't think of everything. Sorry for that. I don't have black ones though. Arrgh. Okay, do I want to use black bolts with a couple washers in them? Let's try with 2 washers, see if it bottoms out. Two washers seems to do it. It'd be a lot simple if you just put 10mm bolts in the BOM. 2 washers does it, so I guess we're gonna go that route. I think I have some black hardware coming. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I have a whole black catalog, or a catalog of black M3 hardware right here. These might have 10mm in them. They also might not. Six millimeter, 8mm, 12mm, 16mm, and 20mm. Why no 10s? Son of a gun. Oh well, double washer it is. Enter 5 to a tool changer. That is ambitious. Tool changers are cool, but there's no way in the world I have enough time in my life to try that out. Like if someone would send me a tool changer fully assembled to do, I could swing that, but building one? I mean, this has taken me a couple weeks to build here. I did not want it to turn into the Hypercube where it took me a year to put the printer together. I wanted it to get together sooner rather than later, because I want to start using it and testing with it. And I think it'll be a new high temp printer that I can use with a large nozzle. Even if it's not high temp, it's just another printer with a large nozzle. Because right now I only have the Artillery Sidewinder X1 that has a 0.6 millimeter nozzle on it, nothing else. I debated on converting the FT5, but I wanted to have detailed prints in a large print area. Oh, did I lose one of those 12 mils? Shucks, I lost one. Make up one day. Take one of these ones out and use it. This other side. Cable going to the back. Screwdriver? Yeah, it did. This one I need. There we go. I'm excited also to be able to enclose most of this. I don't have anything for the top yet. I think I'll just wait until I can get a deal on some 1/8 inch acrylic that I can cut to size and I make kind of like a hatch it kind of sits on here, and then figure out something to do with the front doors. I think that'll be pretty nifty to do eventually. All right, so this is using solid couplers, which I'm not sold on using, but I'm gonna use them for now, I guess. They go on that way, and then we got to get the lead screws out. Here they are. They are not pre-greased, so I will grease them on Monday. I actually have my new the liquid lithium grease, the tube of it. I've been waiting on for everything. It's Weld-On lithium grease. I'm waiting on that for a while, so that will be here on Monday. So let's see what size it takes. This right here. Flat bar. One side. Other side. Here. Flat bar. Other side. All right. Now we can just slide these to the top. These are not loose enough. 1 and 2. Now the other side. Oh, those are in. So potentially take that off. We should stay there by the friction of the motors. That. Ooh, the lolly. Okay, so next up, I have the bed holders now. They need to go on this frame. Squeaksy squeaksies. That's okay. I did print out some knobs from Thingiverse. These came out highly recommended in all of the groups and everything. So I'll use these because the ones that it came with are comical. Like, they are so freaking small. Like, these are the bed leveling nuts that it came with compared to these. Way different. So this just has a regular M3 nut pushed through there. I already did all that work. So this will give me much more clearance because it'll be down here a lot better. A lot better. So these can just kind of, are you kidding me? Because they have the stupid registry marks. Here we go. So we'll just get the bed kind of in place there, and then we'll lock these down in 2. Once I lock the sides in, then I can then lock in the top. There's another one that goes here on the top. Again, these are held on way overkill, but definitely won't be moving on us anytime soon. Right, let's get the bed out here. I need to poke through the bed first, because I put on the aluminum side. That really kills my exposure, doesn't it? So I need to poke these bolts through. It's very easy to do. A little gunk on the other end there. Yeah, I hope that Ben can work with the suppliers to just make a better bed. This is just. I know it's a cheap kit, but even the expensive kit comes with this exact same bed. And if you're spending $800 on a printer kit, that even still isn't everything. I mean, grand total with the expensive kit, it's like a $1,200 printer. Yeah, it sucks. Should not be this bad of a bed. All right, so if we get this, just kind of going in. I missed. Come on. That one. That one. One. Okay. Now we just need to enter this, I guess. See what our measurements are here. Where to put that at? Space over here. 23 millimeters. 22 millimeters. More that way. There. Pretty close right there. Pretty close. So I can tighten these in now. This is easy to adjust at a later date. Although now that I have my acrylic panel in the back here, it's a little hard to screw in that other side. Okay. Keep kicking this piece of acrylic out of the way. All right, well now we can pull this up. Springs on here, which we need to push all the way through. I believe these are the same heavy-duty springs that are on the CR10s now. They are very heavy-duty. I really do like them. They're not as heavy-duty as extruder springs, but they are a close second. I guess I should put on those top M5s. Man, I guess. Might as well do it now. I need 4 more T-nuts. I guess it does get complicated, but it's still not hard. I mean, my FT5 is manual bed leveling, CR10S is manual bed leveling, X1, Tivo Tornado, all manual bed leveling, and all large format printers. I think they were just talking about auto bed leveling on Twitter because Devin Montez got his CR6 and the bed leveling he's getting off it is absolutely garbage. He's also getting some pretty bad layer shifts on his y-axis, I believe. And he's the first YouTuber, or influencer, I should say, YouTuber, but first one to come out with a negative response to it. I guess Maker's Muse did too. His initial was not that of full praise. But you had several people come out screaming high praise of that printer very quickly. Joel did, Chuck did. I mean, Joel did, except for like the price, which he, again, I think we all kind of agree that when they are going to ask for $420 for that printer, no one's going to buy it. No one should buy it for $420. It's not a $420 printer. One, two, 3, 4. Just compress these a little bit. Starting on. I put all the nuts in these already. Huh. I'm gonna get some longer M4s in here, I guess. I don't know if I don't have longer M4s for that. That's a bummer right there. That is a huge bummer. That's going to be the case. So I do not have. These are just they go too deep. They compress these springs like crazy. Huh. It's a bummer. I do not want to use these little things here. I've got no other choice right now. I just need to get this on. We just need to redesign these, even though I thought they would work because someone put them out there. Or unless they have different ones of these, because these are really thick right here. That meat, it's really, really thick. We're going to the E3D V6 is the widest known hot end. It's the most affordable hot end too. Mosquito's nice and all, but I'm sorry, $150 for an extruder or for a hot end is the same reason why I won't buy a $150 main board. Too much money. I'm not going to buy a Duet. Unless someone wants to send me one. See how level this is. 25 millimeters there. There. Five millimeters there. And just shy of it here. Let's readjust this corner. Five millimeters there. There's our bed. That's not too shabby right there. We've got the heated plate. Where'd that go? Where did I put the plate at? There it is. This sandpaper rough heated plate that comes with it. I mean, the magnets are definitely strong enough in this, which is nice to see because actually the bed on Megatron I'm going to have to replace because the magnets in it suck. And I was wondering why I didn't use it on the Bear. That's why. So I already have another one coming for it, but yeah, the things for it suck. These don't work, so that was a waste of filament. Yeah, so that's the Z and the bed axis done right there. Pretty nifty if you ask me. Too bad at all. So I guess I'll play around and go do a little bit of, I don't have the front panel completely printed yet. I mean, it's all of these parts here that still need to go together. I still have the other, so I have the centerpiece, which is this one here that goes. I have the leftmost piece here. That sandwich is on there. This piece goes on here. There's still supports on that one, so I had to pull those off. Then I have the other one to go over there. The different buttons for the LEDs, the NeoPixels, all that are up in here, which is cool. This is actually a pretty good angle. I was a little worried about the angle on that. But yeah, so we're going to save this for now to do. I guess we'll go do a little bit of wiring. And then, because I plan on doing the front panel on Monday. And if I do a little bit of wiring now, it's not that late yet. Do a little bit of wiring now. That'll make me ahead of the game for Monday, because Monday, I think, will be the day that I do a function check on the printer. So let's get this all the way around here. Oh, crikey. It is definitely getting a lot heavier the more stuff I put on it here. So now I don't believe this came with a splitter. So what we'll have to do is wire the two motors as Z and E1, I'm guessing. Let me double check my stuff in here. Oh, it does come with so we've got a wiring harness here that came with it. There's some extensions here for the motors if they don't reach, which I don't think any of them will not reach. So cool for that. There's the fan I didn't use, end stops I didn't use, E-motor I didn't use. Okay, here's the bed cabling. So I can snip this down. I honestly don't know if the bed will work after I modified it. I'm really hoping it does. And just, there's not a whole lot of sharing going on in the BLV group for like what bed people are using. I'm like, so what? You know, everyone's saying, oh, you should go with a 6mm bed and this, and that. I'm like, all right, great. Which one did you go with? And they're not saying anything. A 5-sec mini. I don't know, Brandon, you talking to me or you talking to Gunner? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. So we've got a thermistor cable, which comes with the, I believe this is the connector for the Duet, which does not fit on this board at all. So I'll need to reconnect that. But here's the bed at least. There's some honking ferrules on here. Man, enormous. Let's put some of these screwdrivers away. Flathead. Little bed right here. These ferrules even fit in here? Won't. I wonder if I can recrimp that with my square crimp. How does it fit my square crimp? Oops. Yeah. Those seem strong on there. There, now we fit. Yeah, it wouldn't fit when these are flat crimped. Way too wide for these connectors. Square crimp, much better. And the cables on these are, I mean, I've got an extra couple feet here. I mean, at least an extra foot. And the bed's almost all the way up. I mean, it does have some more room to go up, but we'll get there. I did not want to do that. I don't like when things crisscross each other like that. My computer modding OCD days. Computer, stop. So there is no Z splitter in here. So I guess we're gonna have to run E0 and E1 for the motors. I have my 2209s here. Not this box. Where's the other box 2209s at? Here it is. We'll get these 2209s installed real quick. Got also the heat sinks on them. I will need to figure out, I do want to do some active cooling in the back here. So I'll need to figure that out. I might wire figure out, yeah, some type of mount here for a fan to go. Oh, what's the, I don't remember what the pinout is for that. Dang it. On a, need to verify the pinout on these. Yeah, Max, there is a way, and then you have to just do like the measurements of it as well. Gunner said that the Discord is too noob for him, so he had to leave. I'm supposed to leave all the jumpers in for UART mode. For SPI, that's not right. What's that? I think Chris does it in UART mode as well. You removed all of them. I thought you were supposed to leave them in there. Will not remember now. STR13, yeah, that's what it is. I have to go pull open Megatron because I can't remember. I could have swore it was leave them all on. Max says no jumpers. I thought I left all the jumpers on for those. Quick, Victory Tech SKR13. Guide. I think in my other printer I have them all on. Here it is. So TMC. Where'd it go? Yeah, so it's the top 3 for regular step mode. No UART SPI. Oh, Aaron's not on right now. He's the one I thought had sent it to me. Which way they go? Because some of these documents are old because they don't have 22.9s in them. It's the old 1.3. Board, is it? Nope, that's different. I need the mod for it. Well, it's also just because a lot of new people join the Discord. I mean, my channel is not geared towards pros, or I mean, it's geared towards new people, and new people join. Gunners want to put up with that, so be it. I made the Discord to be a place of where people can come and get the details they need on how to get their printer working and stuff like that. So I'm gonna open up my other printer real quick and see. I hear you, Max, what you're saying. I'm pretty sure that the documentation was to keep all the jumpers on. Turn this off first. Printer sideways here. Ah, yeah, Max, you're right. All off. Right. I just had to confirm though. I literally just did it. I just can't remember. There's so much stuff going on right now. It's hard to keep track of it all. Okay, so let's pull all these jumpers off because I'm an idiot. Get my little pulling tool though. Make my life easier. why I'm saving these. I literally have a drawer full of jumpers hanging around. All right, so only X and Y are going to be sensorless, so pull off Z, E0, and E1, and that should be it. Oh, I have to put the UART ones on for those ones, so they're all running UART mode, so they all need a jumper on there. So X, Y, Z. Do I have some red ones left over from the other build? I'm being totally OCD right now. I know. Shut up. I do. Okay. We got E0 and E1. Everything's running UART. Sensorless homing pins for those. I don't know if we'll be able to zoom into that or not. That's about the best I can do there. Sorry. So yeah, we've got the 2 sensorless homing pins put on for X and Y. And then we've enabled UART mode with just these jumpers right here. I'm keeping this jumper here on the line. So basically it only gets power to the board if it's plugged in. It will not get power from the USB. This also helps you so that when you have it plugged into USB and you disconnect it, you're not going to disconnect your print. So that also helps out quite a bit. Let's see, what else do we need to do here? So we got all those jumpers in. I need to put all the drivers in now. Max, if you're there, is there still a, like, is there an official version of Marlin for this printer? Like, I know Ben uses the Duet, but I don't know, has anybody published a version of Marlin? I guess it would be good practice for me to build it on my own, but I am lazy and I do not really want to start from scratch. I'd rather start from someplace else. Plug it in and then put the heatsink on. But heatsink, that. I also haven't decided. I kind of like having the back like this. So there's going to be a sub panel where this is at right here. There'll be a sub panel installed here. And then there'll be the actual back of the printer. I might keep this kind of like this instead of printing a box to go in here, because once this other piece of material goes in, it will make a chamber in the back, and just adding some fans in here to circulate the air through via convection. So we'll put, maybe I'll install, I don't know, 2 fans on the bottom to push air up through this. I think that will help out quite a bit, or just put a 50 mil. I have some 24 volt 50 mil fans. I can just attach right here to blow along the board. 2209s don't need as much cooling as 2208s or even 2100s especially. So, oh, I am going to need a Y jumper. Or no, I don't, because this is X and Y. Yeah. Left is X, Y is right. Which way does that go again? Chris's video. Yeah, I can do that. I used Chris Warkaki's version. I used Aaron's version, and I used Chris's video in order to configure it for Megatron down there. So I might just use Megatron's config because I like it a lot, and it has sensorless homing enabled. I just need to enable it for Core XY and do a few other little tweaks, but overall it's pretty good, I think. Okay, so I forget which is it. Was X and Y was right. Can't remember now. Left motors, this will be X, I guess. We'll just go like this for now. Better to do with it right now. So it's X. Oh, none of these fit either. Knucker, man. I guess that's why I gave you these little extensions to use a different, because this is using an SKR and not a duet. So these little 1 foot extensions just carry it through. Not a fan of it. I'll probably end up re-tipping all of these to be proper, but just to get my testing done, we'll go with this. If I have to move this one, unbundle it, because it's right here. Need to do that. Y, and then we've got 1Z. Here. There's the tangle yet. Oh, come on. Definitely gave you long enough cables, which is good. And it's nice they give you kind of these little conversion ones. I just wish that they weren't already set up for a duet. Z going to E1. So let's get some zips. And we'll just try and tidy this up a little bit to make our life easier. A lot of cable here. After the connector, because if I need to switch out pins, I want to have access to those pins. Come on. Get out of the way there. I've got this motor here. That helps out that a bit. I can do this one here as well a little bit to get it out of the way. I did start labeling a lot of the cables as well coming off the hot end as I ran them, just because I didn't want to forget, and also I want to make sure that my hot end fan being 12 volt, I labeled that so that I knew that that had to go to the buck here, the little step down one. All right, well, that's all of that. Here's where our PTFE tubing comes out down here. I do have on these mounts, I modified them so that right here, this is a piece of 3mm nylon, just like Prusa uses. I made a little mount inside of here, a slot for that to slot into, and in here, just to give this a little bit more rigidity to it than kind of flopping around. And I think once I put on the textile sleeving, it will also give it more rigidity as well, and kind of give this a nice, better arch to it. But I wanted to keep it without kinking it. I could go probably a little bit shorter on here, but all I have to do is, I mean, this is just a reverse Bowden tube going into a direct drive extruder, so it's not a big deal either way. But between the PTFE tube being there and that piece of nylon being there, that'll definitely make sure that the cables have a good health and don't wear out too fast. Hey, Viking. Viking, I think Gunnar thought you were a fraud with your 3D printing Viking name. So I just need to run a few cables. So I have the octocoupler right here. So this is to connect the Z sensor. So our Z probe goes to this octocoupler. Octocoupler goes to the Z end stop, and it gets power, direct power from the power supply. So this has to get installed in there as well. It's nice. I didn't notice that they gave me these jumper cables. So that would have been nice, but these are really long, and I ran my own. So these are actually much thicker too. I don't know. Maybe I will switch these, but I'm using a power cable. I cut those open every time I do it. Oh, let's do this real quick. I need to redo the connector for the thermistor on the bed because it is wrong. It won't fit on the board. So for that, we need to get my JST kit. Where do I have it? Oh, it's right here. That. And I can't find my wire strippers. I set them down somewhere in my very small shop. I don't know where they are. I might have put them in the wrong drawer. That's why I can't find them. But these are some thick wires. Thick with 2 C's. On these very little cables. Or very little connectors, I should say. And I need a 2-pin. Come on. Crimpers. like JSTs because they are so freaking small, the connector. Missed it. Come on. Plate. Okay. Bit out of the way. Okay. Now, where'd I put that connector? There it is. So polarity on these don't matter, which is nice. Click. Okay. And then this is for the bed, which goes, I'll do under all this stuff here. And here. It plugs in. So that is wired up now at least. It's tangled. Come on. There we go. Yeah, so that's looking pretty good. I do have textile sleeving for this as well. I'm going to wait to do that until I find out that everything works okay before sleeving this and whatnot. I'm really not happy with the bed at all in this kit. I mean, it's such a big gap in the back. So just, other people are doing, I think they just add a, I think there's a way to add to the back of this where your print goes. But when it goes way off the bed, when it goes all the way to the back, and a fair bit off the bed in the front as well. So hey, we have a mostly completed 3D printer. What I'm going to do, I'll do some testing offline with the SKR. I just want to make sure that it boots properly. It does come with a stock firmware on it. Obviously, it's not set up for Core XY. That's okay. But I just want to make sure that it boots. I want to make sure that the screen outputs a display, because if I need to do a claim on Ally, I want to do it sooner rather than later so that I don't miss the return window if I have to return it. Which would be a shame because I really want to use the screen here. Really want to use this. I got a lot. I also did get the Wi-Fi module, so I've never tried it before. I figured I would try it out. What's up, Michael? Yeah, I'm excited to give this a shot here. See if it works the way I hope it does. I'm also excited to share this model because no one else has made a mount for the printer for this screen, which is surprising because there's so many people using SKRs in this because, again, the what's called are so expensive. The duets are stupid expensive, and that's why other people are using them. So yeah, I think that'll be it for tonight, I guess. Made some good progress, so I need to modify these. So I'll make a mental note of that to get that running, get a firmware going, get the octocoupler connected so that I can test out the filament sensor, or I should say the bed sensor, and then hopefully start working maybe tomorrow before I take this off the desk. I need to clear the desk off for Megatron to come up and work on Megatron tomorrow night, but if not tonight, it's still early enough I can work on it. Trying to get the motors all sorted out which way they move and get them moving the right direction. So that'll take some time. Definitely take a while, I'll say. Kind of wish it would be a faster process, but that's all right. Make sure that's all. So I really like this carriage. It's pretty nice, but again, you can see the back of my. You zoom in there real quick so you can see the. Come on, which way is zoom go? This way. Yeah, so you can see right here how I have the 4 bolts going into the back of the stepper, and then all the cables attaching to there. And once the sleeving gets on, it'll really clean all that up. I really wanted to go for a nice clean look to this, and like I actually tried with all of it, and I think we'll get there. But yeah, so sensorless homing on X and Y. We've got a Z probe here, which I'll have to add that on. It's right there. Someone did do a pretty funny, for the front shroud, and they did a pretty funny mod. It says effing hot, and it has the LED in there. I thought that was pretty funny. But it glows. It has it glowing whenever the hot and heats up. It triggers that, and I think it has it running off of the same. The hot is running off the same as the cooling fan for that is. So once it hits 50C and that cooling fan kicks on, the LED for effing hot kicks on. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, I think it was a pretty good night. Overall success. The Z-carriage moves smoothly by hand, but I will find out how that moves with the actual motors once I get figured out how to do the dual Z motors in Marlin 2. Because again, I have not done that before, and I don't even know if the pinouts are right on these. I just kind of plugged them in to kind of have a starting point. But overall, I think I'm happy. I think I am. Definitely there's options for like Z chain, for cable chains to do. I don't know. Once I do put a silicone heater on here, I might end up using, I have a MOSFET that I can install in the back to run the bed instead of running it off the board, just because the SKRs are finicky at best. And I think 1 meter cabling to the front will work. So I've got some work to do this weekend, but you guys will see the BLV again on Monday. Yeah, so I'm going to work on this again on Monday, and hopefully I will have some kind of firmware ready to go, and I'll have power to the board, and I'll have done some initial testing. But the goal will be to install all the front panels, which again, I have one more front panel to do. I'm going to keep this one the way it is, even though I'm not 100% happy with the print. I will keep it the way it is for now. I might actually end up redesigning the whole front because I don't like the way it aligns. I'm not really a big fan of the seam. I can do it in 2 prints on a larger printer rather than 3 the way he has it. Again, just kind of need to figure out what I want to do. And I'll print all the parts for the NeoPixels, but this one actually had a layer shift in it, so I might need to reprint this anyways. That's why it doesn't line up properly. But I might print all the parts for the NeoPixels and just get them kind of like seated in there. That way that they're kind of ready to go. When I do get the LED rings in, I can just install those and wire them up. But that'll be a whole separate thing. I don't know if I'll live stream that because that'll take me a while to figure out how to wire those and get them working with the Arduino. And I really don't think that's going to be a stream. That'll just be a summary video. But yeah, super cool, awesome progress today. But now we get to the hard part of firmware, which is the bane of my existence with Marlin 2.0. I'm trying to really figure that out. So yeah, good build. Monday you'll see this. If you guys want to join me tomorrow night, we're going to pull out Megatron and we're going to install some LDO motors. LDO is sponsoring that build. So they sent me motors and a new screen for it, an actual Prusa screen. So a little lower profile, has a lower profile knob on it as well. We'll get all that installed, rip out the old motors, get the new ones installed. I also have the longer ribbon cables for it, which again I might save for this, we'll see. And I also have the, well, I guess the LDO motors come with the Dryland nuts, which actually, since it came with them, I might swap these out for the Dryland nuts instead of using the metal ones that I just put on here. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes, because then I won't have to lube this up at all, which would be a pretty good idea. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see. Yeah, so that's it for tonight, guys. I thank everyone for hanging out. This was a fun build, and again, we're getting there pretty good. We should be able to have motion after Monday. We should have full motion via the LCD. I'm going to get motion via Pronterface first, and then I'll get motion via the screen to make sure all that works well and does what it's supposed to do. And we'll be able to clean up all these wires. And then the stuff I ordered, I forget what it was called. But over from Tap Plastics, and it's like a cheaper plastic that they have that's still enforced. It's still strong. It's used for signs. It's not corrugated. It's more solid. I think it's a type of PVC. But that will make some really nice slick panels for this, a sub panel in the back. My goal is to put a filament spool right here in this space, so I want to keep all the electronics down as far as I can get them. So yeah, that's enough yapping for today. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night for the LDO build, or I'll see you Monday night for continuation of the BLV build. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you want to support the channel, down below you can do that. Otherwise, happy printing, wash your hands, and have a good weekend. See you guys later.